Hi, my name is Annie, and welcome to the Walking Word, where we go through the Holy Bible in a year. We are in the book of Leviticus, chapter 15, Personal Uncleanliness. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Speak of the Israelites and tell them, every man who is afflicted with a chronic flow from his private parts is thereby unclean. Such is his uncleanliness from this flow, that it makes no difference whether the flow drains off or is blocked up." So whether the flow has caused an abscess and is just clogged somewhere or it actually flows out, nonetheless, it doesn't matter. You're still unclean. His uncleanliness remains. Any bed on which the man afflicted with flow lies is unclean, and any piece of furniture on which he sits is unclean. Anyone who touches his bed shall wash his garments, bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Whoever sits on a piece of furniture on which the afflicted man was sitting, he shall wash his garments, bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Whoever touches the body of the afflicted man shall wash his garments, bathe in water, and be unclean until the evening. If the afflicted man spits on a clean man, the latter shall wash his garments, bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. I don't even know why you would be spitting on another human being, but it happens. I've actually seen it happening. Any saddle on which the afflicted man rides is unclean. Whoever touches anything that was under him shall be unclean until evening. Whoever lifts up any such thing shall wash his garments, bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Anyone whom the afflicted man touches with unrinsed hands shall wash his garments, bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Earthenware touched by the afflicted man shall be broken, and every wooden article shall be rinsed with water. When a man who has been afflicted with a flow becomes free of his affliction, he shall wait 7 days for his purification. Then he shall wash his garments and bathe his body in fresh water, and so he will be clean. Fresh water is flowing water, yeah, and the spring water. On the 8th day he shall take 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, and going before the Lord to the entrance of the meeting tent, he shall give them to the priest, who shall offer them up, the one as a sin offering and the other as a holocaust. Thus shall the priest make atonement before the Lord for the man's flow. When a man has an emission of seed, which is ejaculation, he shall bathe his whole body in water and be unclean until evening. Any piece of cloth or leather with the seed on it shall be washed with water and be unclean until evening. If a man lies carnally with a woman, they shall both bathe in water and be unclean until evening. So, yeah, lying with a woman who is not your wife, out of your flesh, yeah, or yeah, so adultery, fornication, what have you, and many of these things. But those, God breaks them down further later. When a woman has her menstrual flow, she shall be in a state of impurity for 7 days. Anyone who touches her shall be unclean until evening. Anything on which she lies or sits during her impurity shall be unclean. Anyone who touches her bed shall wash his garments, bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Whoever touches any article of furniture on which she was sitting shall wash his garments, bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. But if she is on the bed or on the seat when he touches it, he shall be unclean until evening. If a man dares to lie with her, he contracts her impurity and shall be unclean for 7 days. Every bed on which he then lies also becomes unclean. So if you touch her, you're unclean for 7 days. If you lie with her, meaning if you have intercourse with her, you'll be unclean for 7 days. When a woman is afflicted with a flow of blood for several days outside her menstrual period, or when her flow continues beyond the ordinary period, as long as she suffers this unclean flow, she shall be unclean just as during her menstrual period. Any bed on which she lies during such a flow becomes unclean as it would be during her menstruation, and any article of furniture on which she sits becomes unclean just as during her menstruation. Mhm. Anyone who touches them becomes unclean. He shall wash his garments, bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. If she becomes freed from her affliction, she shall wait 7 days, and only then she will be purified. On the eighth day, she shall take two turtle doves and two pigeons and bring them to the priest at the entrance of the meeting tent. The priest shall offer up one of them as a sin offering and the other as a holocaust. Thus shall make the priest make atonement before the Lord for her unclean flow. You shall warn the Israelites of their uncleanness, lest by defiling my dwelling, which is within their midst, the uncleanness because of death. This is the law of the man who is afflicted with a chronic flow, or who has an emission of seed and therefore becomes unclean, as well as the woman who has her menstruation period or who is afflicted with a chronic flow, the law of male and female, and also for the man who lies with an unclean woman. Now, it looks like a lot of laws, truly. I mean, who can even bear? But the reason why this is so, I just want to take you back to Leviticus chapter 30, when God decides to reveal his glory, and Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, are killed by a fire from heaven. God says, I am holy, therefore you, Israel, because I have chosen you, you must also be holy. And so God is giving these instructions not necessarily to torment and overwork and overload and overbear the Israelites, but it's also a testament to what he said. I will reveal to you my level of sacredness. I will reveal to you my level of holiness. And let me just echo it. That was from Leviticus chapter 10, verse 3. This is what the Lord said. Through those who approach me, I will manifest my sacredness. I will reveal to you how holy I am. I will reveal to you my standards. In the sight of all people, I will reveal my glory. I will reveal this glory of holiness. So it looks like a lot of work, but God is actually teaching the Israelites how holy he is. We continue tomorrow from chapter 16. Have a blessed day.